Hello and welcome to another video. And in this video, we are going to do some comic cleaning and pressing. So this is Back to the Future #1, and it's a Copper Age comic. It's from 1991, so it does fall in the Copper Age category. So very important to know because it requires different pressing timing under the heat. But in this case, it's Copper Age, so we've done lots of them. I got lots of videos, so if you want to go back in some of my videos, take a look at how I do Copper Age comic books. That would be great, because this video, we're not going to spend a lot of time in cleaning and pressing because I don't want to damage this comic in any way. So obviously, if you clean and press, there's always a risk of damaging the book more. So I don't want that happening. So I'm going to take my time and I'm going to do it well, but it's going to be a one-time process. I'm not going to go over it once it's done again. So, all right, let's get started. All right, I'm just going to go over some of the supplies I use for cleaning comics. This is a special little tool right here. I believe it's used for windows, but it's got all these neat little corners and round edges. Works perfect for messing around with comics and pages, scraping and so forth. Not sure if I'm going to use this, but I did buy this. It's a mono eraser, and it's specifically meant for erasing small little areas. I got to get in his eyeball, areas like that. But I am going to be using this gum eraser, special eraser right here, and it's meant for gentle erasing. Works very effective, but it does leave a lot of eraser shavings. Okay, this is a kneadable eraser, much needed in the process. Okay, this I use after this and basically just get all the loose shavings, and also picks up the dirt that this can't remove. So this works very, very well. You just roll it on, and or you can use it as an eraser. I have a portable iron, and it works great for before I have to press, so I can get some of those larger creases out. Also a steamer right here, portable steamer. Got to be very, very careful when you're using this. You want to be very quick with it, but it does work very effective. Some other things I might be using here. These are just makeup pads and cotton balls. Good for cleaning process. So this here is the hydro tank right here, and I've got 2 bowls there I fill with boiling water. I put down that crate, that golden crate right there, and the cloths, and then the comic book in the middle of the cloths. And then I close the lid for 2 hours, and that gives it enough moisture for the comic book pressing. And here's the heat press that we're going to use. It's a swivel press, so it comes up like this, and it turns around, and it's got these pads. The pads are all set. I did modify this. I cranked it up down here, okay, to level it out because it wasn't dead even. So I modified it on my own, and I also messed with the settings a little bit on the dial because you want it as loose as possible, and then when you crank it down, that's when you want to start tightening it. Okay, so it's all loose, ready to go, and then basically once the comic is in there, then I can adjust it as it's in there because they're always different. And then of course I want to preheat it to 160 degrees before I put it in. Of course, before I put it in, I want to make sure that it's in the moisture tank prior so that it's ready to press. All right, so we're going to begin with finding the center of the comic, and you're going to take a comic board, the one that you'd use for bag and boarding. You can see the staples right there and right there. And we're going to take the shiny side towards the way we want to press up. So you're going to take the comic board, hug it against the top of the staples right there and right here. Okay, we're going to close the book. Feel now firmness with those staples against that comic board. You don't want the comic board to be over top or overlapping the staples in any way. On the first page, so this is a 65-pound cardstock. Okay, so on the first page, I'm going to fit the 65-pound cardstock in, and I'm going to test it, see if it's a little too thick or not, and then I might change it up to 110, a little thinner. To be okay, I'm just gonna see about that 110. The paper has sort of an edge on it. You want to put the edge on the downside towards the paper, not towards the cover. Okay, so we're going to try 110 cardstock. Fit it in there. Yeah, 110's a lot nicer and a lot nicer fit. Okay, so that's the front cover. We're going to do the same for the back cover here against the pages. So when we do the pressing and the cleaning, it's a nice firm fit. There we have the book in, and now we can kind of adjust it how we want it when we clean it and when we press it. All right, now we're going to begin the cleaning process. I'm just going to take a makeup pad, some of those fingerprints. You can see I always go towards the edge. Nasty fingerprints. Just want to take my gum eraser, and just like I was doing my wiping, I want to do the same thing, because I do not want to go into the page, because that'll make a crunch, and I do not want to come back like from a corner. So when I do my erasing, and I don't want to go on heavy on dark colors either. So this is a dark purple up here. You do not want to erase that, because you'll fade it out. Okay, so you know what? I am actually going to break open the mono eraser. Here it is. I just want to kind of get in. I want to get in the lightning here, and not the purple. That won't damage the book. You can see that I'm working right at a top edge. So you can see all my strokes go up, never down. Okay. 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 You got like a nice sharp edge. Really get in there. Okay. So you can see just how dirty it is. Okay. This gum eraser right here is brilliant for cleaning the whites and being gentle on the paper. Pen, by the way, works really good for getting in those small little areas, so that worked out well. Now, after, I will just use the kneadable eraser and go over top of here, gently. Reds are something that can fade very easily, so you got to watch out. Alright, so I just want to take this and just go like this. And just be careful about this edge, because if this goes over, it could tear. So you always want to go sideways on the edges, like that. And then down. And this will lift off all the excess stuff. And if you want to go over heavy colors, use this gently, just like that. And it'll clean off inside the old creases at the top as well. I go into a corner like this, barely see. When I go into the corner like this, I'm rolling down into the corner. Okay, just one way. I'm just going like that. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing down in this corner here. So this one I'm just taking the eraser, I'm rolling it down lengthwise down the page, gently, one way. And then I'll finish the top off doing the other side. And I'm going to do the spine as well, gently, because it has the cardstock. And then I'll do the rolling process again. So this is just for cleaning. Then we'll get to the pressing next. Okay, so we'll just finish this off now. Right. I do not want to hit this edge here. So I want to go lengthwise. And same thing here. Just kind of taking that dirt off, and I'm going towards the edge. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. Now we can work on that light blue there. I don't want to go too much, but you can notice dirt on there. I want to go a little bit. Just same thing. Just quick. Done. Done. One more. There we go. Perfect. All right, now I'm going to take my eraser. I'm going to roll it towards the edge along that spine. I just noticed some dirt on the lightning bolt here still. See, I don't want to get on that purple. You end up fading it really quick. So I got no choice but to use this, which it doesn't work as good, but nothing much I can really do about that. You risk it. And it really sucks if you damage the book. What I could do is I can get in there. Seemed to work. I'm just dabbing it right now with like a corner I just made and kind of hitting that white. Seems to be taking off the rest of that dirt. Cleaning it up. All right. Here's the book now. Much better. Whites are a little whiter. So you can still see some dirt here. We'll take that off. We'll take this clean here. Still see some little bit of dirt there. Let's keep going. We'll finish off here. It's all light, so it shouldn't fade too much, but I don't want to put too much pressure again on it. And of course, since this is an edge, you want to go up on the edge or at it. Around inside the white quickly. And this takes off all the loose shavings and all that stuff as well. Cleans it up. See how nice and white that is. The lightning bolts especially. All right, so let's take care of this back side now. Not too bad, but you can see that there's rippling here. That obviously has to get pressed out. There's a finger dent right here. Actually, I have to iron that one out. I don't know if you can see in the light or not. It's right there. You can see that edge definitely needs to get pressed out. We're going to do that with some of it with the iron. First, we got to clean it. I just like to start in the middle, then go up, comic, then come down. Before I take the eraser. Okay. That edge. But I don't want to take an eraser to it because I may lighten that blue. So I have to do it with this. So we'll do that first. We'll take this kneadable eraser. I'll put some pressure on the page, my other hand, and go towards the corner. Work up in the middle of the book. I'm going to do the same thing on this edge here, the top of the blue. Critical color. Do not want to fade it. And the reason why I know this is from fading some dark reds in the past. I can actually take this now, come down that edge, just like this, very gently. I'm just cleaning it off. Okay, that's good. That white there, that. I'm going to do the same thing on this edge here, towards the corner. Okay. Try not to get too much of the lettering there, the black. We're going to get this staple here. So I am aggressively going back and forth a little bit, but not much pressure. And I'm holding the book firmly. Okay, that's enough because I don't want to fade it. There we go. And roll. Roll. Right. Looks pretty good. The arm here. The arm. The washing machine. The cat. Good there. You can see right here, there's a finger bend right on the edge of that page. So we got to use steam and a flat iron. Other than that, that's it. The steamer going so you can see steamer. I want to take the area I want steamed, just go like this. Okay. Just go like that. You can see it just kind of hits the page. It's actually pulling the crease out right now, effectively. Beautiful. All right, so since I have it nicely steamed there, I don't want to waste time, but I do want to make sure that paper is back in the page so we're not damaging the comic book. while we finish this process. Okay. I'm just going to take both sides of the page. Just go like that because I want to do it here. I'm going to take my iron and I'm just going to gently take it up like that on the edge of the paper. I'm going to try to manually get as much as I can out. I can even get the edge in the corner. And this is on number 3 of 4, so it's fairly hot. Should get that right out. This one would need a little moisture at the top. So I just have the steamer going again. You can see here. So I'm just going to hit the top of this book very quickly because I do want to get some of those overhang creases out at the top. I'm just going to hit that top again. And for pressing, I'm going to replace the cardstock that I used for cleaning, because I did warp the cardstock a bit by putting heat to it now and steam. See if it made a difference or not. Oh yeah, big difference. Okay, so now that's it. I'm done cleaning it, all that I can clean, and I'm done fixing the finger bend that was in there and a few creases that was at the top. Best I can do. I don't want to go too hard on it, and I definitely don't want to put any pressure in any of those colors. So this looks really good for what it is. All right, so I'm going to get it ready for the hydro tank now. All right, so what I've done is I poured boiling water in these 2 bowls. Okay, it's on top of a tray like that, and then I have a comic book sitting on a piece of cardstock along with a cloth, another piece of cardstock, and then another cloth, because what's going to happen is this lid is going to condensate and drip onto that comic. We don't want that, so we'll leave that for 2 hours and we'll get pressing after. All right, so we're just waiting for the temperature to preset to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, and then we're going to put it in there for 15 minutes on each side. All right, so just showing you how I stacked. I used 2 65-pound cardstock for the top of the stack, a piece of copy paper, and that will go use as the buffer on top of the cover. And then, just as we did our inside stack in the comics, the comic book for the structure for the press, it's the exact same with the comic book backing board there. The book is nice and clean. Do not want any debris or anything towards the back. The most pressure is in the press. And now I'm going to put copy paper side down. That's the buffer. Make sure there's no creases in the copy paper because that will show up in the page. And there we go. We properly stack like that. Now I'm going to turn this around. Okay. Center it. Degrees ready to go. Now I'm just going to clamp pressure. You can see that there's a lot of pressure here. So I'm going to loosen it off. Then I'm going to bring it thing. Tight. Now we can tighten it as we want. You don't want to go too tight. That's pretty good right there. Just kind of hand tighten a little bit and let off. We're going to let this go for 15 minutes. It's been 15 minutes. I'm going to loosen the pressure almost entirely and then just let it sit there and let it go to room temperature, and then we'll flip it and we'll do the backside and then it should be done. All right, so it's been sitting in the press and it's now room temperature. So I just want to change the copy paper. A new piece of copy paper there. Side of the book down, the front side. Pretty good. Back side down, make sure that obviously stacking is good. No creases, and the 2 pieces of 65-pound cardstock there. And we've got 160 preheated. Hot there. It's loose, so I just crank it down now. And I hand tighten the dial. Right, so here is the finished product, and it's just inside, been sitting in here for close to a full day now. Finished it last night, so this afternoon, here we go. So this is just a bunch of cardstock, heavy cardstock there, and I got the comic inside a pile of cardstock here, which I use for my pressing, but here we go. So this is the finished product, and I'm first glance definitely very, very happy with it. All right, let's see. Let's fully inspect the front cover here. Check that out. You can see how nice the press gets those edges. See how flat the comic is now. Doesn't have much imperfection in it now. Just spent a little bit of work. I mean, I could have gone and done a lot more work on it as far as getting some of these see right there, spine tick, try to get that out, but nearly impossible. Looks really, really good. There was some dirt right here. That looks a lot better. If you look close though, there's still a little bit in there, but I don't, like I said, when I was doing it, I didn't want to go too much because I definitely don't want to start taking the color out. And you can see that little finger bend there. Definitely looks a million times better. Overall, very actually happy with this comic, as I just did it on the one press, so see there, very nice and flat. We'll just take these sheets out. This is 100-pound cardstock. Since I used it, I can't really reuse it, but I'm going to reuse the backing board here, and I'm going to bag and board it. Get it ready for the Micheal J Fox signature. Very, very happy with this. You can see the edges. Turned out very nice. If I go up really close, still see how it pulled out a lot. There was a lot of cracking in the top from the pages being crunched over for so long, but it actually pulled it out very nicely. If you look at the pages, how flat that looks. Looks like a brand new comic, really. And then put it back in. There we go. Very happy with it.